Y'all, I hate when it be them grown ass men trying to speak to me. Anyway, so I went to Whistle Dog, right? Should I have went there? No. Did I need this? No. But I seen the man, right? He was like standing all the way off to the side. Looked like he was just waiting. Like he didn't know what he wanted. He was still looking. So I already knew what I wanted. So I went ahead and asked the man like, oh, okay, how much is this? How much is that? Boom, the dude told me. And I'm like, okay, cool. So then the nigga get behind me and he was like, wow, so you just gonna cut me like that? I was like, oh, you was standing over there. I didn't know that you was ready to order, that you was even in line. And he's talking about some, no, you're fine. I was just trying to mess with you. Like, nigga. So the man proceeds to, it literally fell out the bag. But the man gives me my stuff, right? And he gave me an extra one. So I was like, oh, is it my lucky day? Like, I don't even need these. And he wanted to be nice and give me two. So he hands me my bag. And this dude proceeds to have a whole conversation with me. Like, oh, are you from here? I'm like, oh, yeah. He was like, oh, what part of Houston are you from? And I gave him the part that my granny is from, not the part I'm from. And he just kept smiling at me, just looking like up and down at me. I'm like, nigga, what? Like, you're weird. I didn't ask him where he was from. None of that. Because, baby, I don't care. And then he talking about something. So what are you doing after this? I'm looking at him, y'all. I straight lied. I looked that man straight in his eyes. I said, I'm going home to my man. Because, you know, I just felt that vibe. And the way he was looking at me and stuff and smiling at me, I'm like, oh, he think it's that type of time. Tell me why this man, after I told him, oh, I'm going home to my man, this nigga proceeds to say, oh, and what are you doing after that? I said, oh, I'm just going to go home. And he was like, oh, okay, what was your name? Like, that shouldn't have been the first question. And then was like, oh, okay, Miss Kennedy, have a great night. I'll see you later. I said, okay, bye. I'm walking away, y'all. He just looked me straight down. Like, I'm like, this nigga was just looking straight at my ass. And I proceeded to leave because I'm just like, what? It just be blowing me because, like, if a nigga look my daddy age, I'm not interested to you, bro. My daddy is 50-something. This man looked like he was in his late 40s. I am not dating no man that's in his 40s. I'm sorry. It's not happening. And it's really blows me because it really be the older men that be hitting on.
All right, so, you know, I don't want to play the rest of the video, but, you know, I want to take this particular man out the conversation, and I just want to talk about men in general when it comes to dealing with women in public, right? Because a lot of times, you know, as men, we do a lot of awkward stuff, or, you know, we have the wrong body language, or, you know, we just moving kind of funny, like she said, and women pick up on these things. So, you know, I just got some things that I wanted to point out. So for one, looking at a woman's ass is just like, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta peep that she got it and you gotta move on from it. I think a lot of times, like, and this is not just older men too. This is men of all ages, 20s, 30s, teenagers, like, you know, 40s, 50s. This is all men of every age group, I feel like. But when you're in places like the gym or you're out in public, you can peep that a woman has a nice figure, but if she peeps that you looking at what she got back there, it's over with. She already done lost respect because she knows that you can't control yourself. You're not used to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't never, like, and I know as men, we like looking at it, right? Even women do. But at the same time, when you looking at it and she catches you looking at it, oh, she gonna be like she said in the video. Women pick up that vibe that, okay, this dude is weird. I feel like I was the weird dude at one point. And I'm not saying weird in the sense of a woman is never gonna catch me looking at what she got back there. That ain't happening. You ain't gonna catch me. But I think for me, my weirdness would come in when I'm dealing with women in person, maybe not feeling comfortable, not being confident, because it's important, like, when you're talking to a woman, her energy is gonna be based off the energy you're presenting. You know what I'm saying? So if you're presenting nervous energy, that's gonna be a problem. That's a red flag to her. If you're presenting thirsty energy, that's a problem to her. That's a red flag. The next thing is you gotta mean business, right? I think a lot of times we put ourselves in these weird situations where, you know, she thought you was checking out, but then you ended up over here. That's all signs to her, like you're trying to plot to, like, kind of, for me, I get the sense that he was kind of moving based on him trying to get a lane to talk to her. He was trying to put himself in hers, like, in her pathway. That's what I don't know if y'all took it like that, but that's kind of how I took it. You know, she was like, I didn't know if he was paying or what, right? So anytime you kind of have these weird positions or you're doing weird stuff to get a woman, you're gonna come off as inauthentic. Let's say we was at the store, right, and I happen to be in the line, I'm paying for my stuff, and I turn around and she right there. That's different. But when you try to strategically go in and you moving all funny like a snake, and she's gonna pick up that you're doing weird stuff. Like, women have this sense of, like, I don't know, man, but for some reason, women they are in tune with their energy. So they can pick up when somebody is being weird. You can't pick that up a lot of times because when you don't have control over yourself, when it comes to a woman, you're not gonna even realize what you're doing. You just gonna think it's normal. You just gonna think, oh, I'm just doing what I normally do. But you doing the wrong thing. You killing the vibe. And the thing is, if you wanna talk to a woman in public, right, you can never give off the impression that you're thirsty, like you ain't had a drink in 25 years. Never give off that type of impression. You always wanna come from it like maybe you see a woman you like in a store and let's say, for instance, you wanna cold approach her, right? Depending on where you at, use some part of where y'all are at as the topic of conversation, right? If you're in a grocery store and maybe, she's looking at, she's in the section with the meats or whatever, and you may say, hey, have you, do you cook, do you be cooking this type of food? Like do you cook pork chops often? And then you get into a conversation like, oh, how many times a week do you cook? Okay, cool. Like what type of, then you get into a conversation. So to me, that's the best way to engage with a woman. You get into a conversation and be like, dang, that's what's up. A lot of women don't cook like that these days. You one of a kind. Like you just make I'm not saying nothing about her looks. And then maybe she'll ask you a question back. She may say, hey, do you cook? Do you cook like that? Why? Why not? What type of food you be cooking? So if she's asking questions back, it's like, okay, let me make a move. Let me plan a date now. And then I get the number. You know what I'm saying? That's how you gotta play it. You gotta see if the woman is good for you. But a lot of times we go into these situations like, damn, you look good. Looking at that, we get caught looking at the ass. Damn, she got a fat ass. We get caught doing all that. And now she knows what you're trying to do. See, the game you gotta play with these women, and not just women in general, people in general. A lot of times we don't know people's intentions, right? You never wanna reveal your hand. So it's like, what you gotta understand is what you thinking inside it. Now, let me not say that. You have to be in full control of what's coming out your mouth, your body language, all of that. Because if you're not, the woman is gonna be able to sense that you don't have control over yourself and that you're thirsty. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta act like you, especially with a woman that looks very good, you gotta act like you've been there before. If you act like you never been there before, she gonna feel like you a peon. Like the way you not show your hand is also by like just being calm. You know what I'm saying? Being alert of what's going on in that conversation instead of thinking like, dang man, she's so bad. Like I just wanna get the number. I wanna link up with her. You thinking about all the things that you wanna do with her and that's taking you away from the moment. Now you goo gaga on the outside and she can pick up on it because you seeming weak. You acting weak. The way you talking is weak. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta just be aware of just what's going on in that conversation. Be there within the moment. You know what I'm saying? Don't show your hand. Don't show, yeah, you may wanna, I like how she looks. She looks very good. Yeah, I would like to, you know what I'm saying? I would like more. I would like to hang out with her, but I'm not finna give that away. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And also too, she don't deserve that type of attention yet from you. She's already got that a million times that, women hear that all the time, how good they look. It's all in her DMs. It's all in her text messages. She knows that. She knows she got something fat back there. But let's see if you can be different than most of the other guys. You know what I'm saying? Actually have a real conversation. It's crazy because as a man, if you just continue to level yourself up and you can understand conversational skills, man, y'all gotta read How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. If you can learn social skills, you're leveling yourself up, you're dating, you know what I'm saying, learning from your mistakes, you're in the gym, you're taking care of your mental. When you're making more money, because you know what I'm saying, when you're doing those things, a lot of dudes, like you don't have no competition. You know what I'm saying? You really don't have no competition because a lot of these dudes are out here being thirsty. A lot of men don't know how to act around a woman that looks very good, that looks really good in person. They don't know. They panic. They freeze up. I was one of them. You know what I'm saying? The better a woman looks, the more a dude is going to be a simp. That's facts. You know what I'm saying? So like I say on every video, man, we have to continue to put ourselves first. All right, guys, this is my video for today, man. I appreciate you guys for coming over to the channel as always. Guys, make sure you continue to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I'm gone.